Hello guys, this is Manisha and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna tell you what are the 6 different types of shading, or what are the 6 different ways you can shade. Now, these are all the products I use. If you want, I can give you a detailed video where I'll be telling you what all products I use for shading, sketching and drawing. So if you want me to make a video, do write in the comments down below and let me know. Now, moving on with our video. The number 1 technique is the smooth shading or smudging technique. This is one of the most common techniques used for realistic drawing. This technique is pretty simple. Overlap on the previously done areas for darker shades. You can even apply pressure for darker shades and release pressure on the pencil for lighter tones. This is the technique which a lot of people most people use. Now, this is a blending stump. You can use this. I have put a link in the description from where you can buy these blending stumps, or you can use your fingers, but I'll suggest you to buy a blending stump because it will just make the process less messy. Using a finger is sometimes can be pretty messy, as you can put all the oil from your fingers on the paper. So I'll suggest you to buy a blending stump, but choice is yours. So this is smooth shading or smudging. Now moving on, the second technique is hatching. Now this is again one of the most common techniques used. Now this is basically the smooth shading smudging technique minus the blending part. You do the same what you did for the first technique, except the blending part. You don't blend. In this technique, you draw very thin parallel lines together. The common rule for all the techniques is for darker shades, overlap on the previously done areas, and for lighter shades, release the pressure. So this was the second technique, which is hatching technique. Moving on, the third technique is cross hatching. The idea of cross hatching is to make lines crossing each other in all different directions. You do the same what you did in the previous technique. In the hatching technique, you draw parallel lines, but this time you draw those lines in all different directions. Again, the common rule for darker shades, overlap. For lighter tones, make less lines and put light pressure on the paper. For the shadow, I'm going to do the same. There's some crisscross lines all over the drawing. So this is the cross hatching technique. Now moving on, the fourth technique is stippling. Now this technique is like the most time consuming. If you are planning to shade a whole portrait or an object, a whole drawing using this technique, make sure you have a lot of spare time and even more patience. Now for stippling, I'll suggest you use a soft lead pencil like this one. This is a mechanical pencil, but it has a thicker lead, as you can see, which will help me cover more area and less time. Add a lot of dots for darker shades and less dots for lighter tones. Stippling is all about dots. If you want darker shades, add more dots. Lighter shades, add less dots. So that mechanical pencil was 2B. The lead was 2B. So I'm going to use a 6B pencil to gain more darker shades. This is like one of my favorite. If you want, you can draw this really hyper realistic portraits with this technique, but then again, this technique is really time consuming. But this technique really gives you that hyper realistic look if you're drawing a portrait or something. So this was the fourth technique, the stippling technique. Now the fifth technique is scribbling, or more commonly known as scribbling. Now, scribbling is a fun and the easiest way to shade. it basically has no rule except the common rule for all the techniques, that is put pressure on the paper for darker shades and release pressure for lighter tones. As you can see, for darker shades I'm overlapping and putting pressure on the pencil and the paper, and when I want lighter tones I'm gonna release the pressure and make lighter scribble. As you can see, I'm just basically scribbling. It has no rules, nothing. I'm just moving my pencil in a really wriggly direction. So this was the fifth technique, which is scumbling or scribbling. Now let's see what the sixth is. Sixth technique is the contour line. Now basically the idea is to have the lines follow the shape of what you are drawing. Sounds and looks pretty easy, but may be kind of tough if you are trying to shape more complicated shapes. As you can see, I'm just following the diagram. I don't use this technique much, but this can be fun. You can use this technique for human figures. So this was the last technique on the list. So these are the six techniques. First one being smooth shading or smudging, second one is hatching, then comes cross hatching, stippling, scumbling or scribbling, and the last one is contour lining. Tell me which is your favorite technique in the comment zone below. My favorite is smooth shading and stippling. Thank you for watching this video.